Elsa lived her life in the real world. Her days were filled with work and study, and she spent time with her friends. But she always felt that something was missing, something she couldn't understand. Her life seemed perfect, yet deep inside, she was searching for something she didn't know what it was. One evening, as she returned home from work, she decided to visit one of the antique shops she had always been fond of. It was a store full of old and strange items. While wandering through the collection of antique objects, her gaze landed on a necklace, an ancient necklace with a shining stone at its core. There was something about the necklace that drew her in. The voice inside her urged her to take it. She reached out, and as soon as she touched the necklace, the world beneath her feet seemed to collapse. Dizzy, she looked around, and suddenly she found herself in the world of Neverland, a strange, magical place with towering trees, crystal clear streams, and a bright blue sky. It was a place unlike any she had known. There was something special here, something that seemed familiar, yet completely foreign. As Elsa was bewildered by her new surroundings, Peter Pan, who lived in the heart of the forest, appeared from behind a tree. He observed her closely and asked, "Who are you? How did you get here?" Elsa, still in shock, replied, "I don't know. I was just in a shop for a moment, and then everything changed. Where am I?" Peter looked at the necklace around Elsa's neck and said, "This necklace is very special. You've been pulled from your world to Neverland." Elsa realized she was no longer in her world. She was in a place where everything was different, but she also felt that there was something important here. Peter, with his vast experience in this world, decided to help her. Peter explained to Elsa that Neverland was full of unique magic, and she needed to discover and control her new powers. He told her she had to learn to control her mental abilities, because this world ran on magic and hidden forces. Elsa listened carefully to Peter, and day by day she began to understand the hidden powers within herself. Peter taught her how to calm her mind and use her powers to read others' thoughts. He said, "The first step is to calm your mind. When your mind is calm, you'll be able to use your abilities." Elsa focused on calming herself, but every time she tried to calm her mind, other people's thoughts would flood into her head. She heard their voices, and it made her feel overwhelmed. "This is so hard. I can't stop these thoughts." Peter smiled gently and said, "Elsa, you have to focus. Your mind needs to be like a calm lake. When the lake is calm, everything becomes clear." Elsa kept trying, but it was difficult. Over time, however, she began to understand her powers. Each practice brought her closer to controlling her abilities. One day, Neverland faced a great threat. Dark creatures with evil powers had entered the world, intending to destroy everything. Peter and Elsa had to fight these dark enemies. "Elsa, these creatures want to destroy Neverland. We have to stop them." Peter, using his magical powers, began fighting the enemies. He unleashed light spells from his hands, but to defeat the dark forces, he needed Elsa's help. "Elsa, you have to use your powers." Elsa, who had learned to focus her mind, was ready. She read the minds of the dark creatures and predicted their moves. With concentration and skill, she used her mental powers to stop the enemies. While Peter fought the enemies with his magic, Elsa attacked their minds, dealing powerful blows. Together they managed to defeat the dark creatures one by one, and Neverland was safe once more. After the victory over the enemies, Peter and Elsa stood by a beautiful lake in Neverland. The sky was full of shining stars, and the bright moon illuminated the world around them. "Elsa, we fought a lot together, But there's something in this world more powerful than magic, something much deeper. Elsa looked at him, and she felt something special in her heart that she couldn't put into words. Her gaze met Peter's, and her heart began to race. I feel the same way. Here, in this world, I feel like I've found what I've always been searching for. Peter took a step closer to her and placed his hand in hers. Their gazes locked, and for a moment, nothing else existed but the two of them. I'll always be by your side, Elsa. Elsa squeezed Peter's hand and said, I never want to leave here. Not when you're with me. In Neverland on that starry night, Peter and Elsa stayed together. The love and magic between them could never be broken.